United Kingdom's Supreme Court has ruled that legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex. The UK court on Wednesday upheld an appeal by Campaign Group on whether transgender women are legally women under equality legislation, ruling that the law referred to a biological woman and biological sex. The court added that the act also protected transgender people against discrimination. However, the transgender campaigner said that excluding them could lead to discrimination, especially over employment issues.
The terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refer to a biological woman and biological sex. But we counsel against reading this judgment as a triumph of one or more groups in our society at the expense of another. It is not.
In a win for Scottish gender-critical campaigners who brought the case to the UK's highest court, 5 London judges unanimously ruled that terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refers to biological woman and biological sex.
In Scotland specifically, I think what our politicians need to get their heads around is this is the law, and they need to stop pushing faulty guidance into schools and hospitals. And you know, there is going to be an ongoing fight, because we still have policies that now we know, we always knew that they were unlawful because they allowed self-ID, and we from our previous rulings we knew self-ID was not lawful. But now we have a really concrete basis on which to go forward.
And for more, DD India's Jessica Taneja joins us live from the newsroom. Jessica, could you simplify for us why is this case and the outcome important in the context of legal definition of a woman?
Right, this ruling is certainly important in a sense where you were seeing a lot of discourse related to gender, not just in the United Kingdom, but also in the United States. And bearing in mind that this is the ruling from the highest court of the country, will have bearing and will, of course, be taken up as precedent for many other rulings to come in the future. But to understand as to what this ruling really means is boiling down to one fact, which is especially when we talk about, spaces which are shared by women and also trans women and other public services as well. So the legal definition of what really would define a woman, especially when it comes to the Equality Act of 2010, which refers to the services. So in that sense, the court ruling has made it clear that women who are born or assigned the gender at birth as women or biological sex would be recognized and would be given the kind of rights under the Equality Act, and not trans women. Trans women who have acquired a gender recognition certificate will not be included in this. So certainly a setback for a lot of trans activists as well as people of minority who were seeking some form of justice here, because as you see in the United Kingdom, it was a case that pertained to Scotland, and it started simply on the fact that there was a movement to increase the number of women on boards in public institutions across Scotland, and there the issue emerged whether women who are assigned the gender at birth, which is their biological sex, should be included with the women who are given a gender recognition certificate, that is the trans women. So that is where it all started, and perhaps the court has now made it clear, the UK Supreme Court has now made it clear that this is in a sense what it is going to be. And the kind of reactions we've seen pouring in right now, looking at the current government in the UK, which is the Labour Party, they seem to have said that the judgment now brings in clarity and confidence, whereas the opposition, which is the Conservative Tories and Kemi Bundock, seem to have suggested in her words that the clear victory, this is certainly a clear victory for common sense, which is what, on the basis of which this case was being fought in the Supreme Court of United Kingdom, and perhaps it has made it clear that only biological sex will be recognized under the Equality Act of 2010, which then extends to services as well as single-sex spaces, along with changing rooms and other sports clubs as well.
Jessica, thank you for joining us with those details.